Hello, everyone. My name is Tommy Littlefield. It's so weird saying that. I feel like in the course of my life, I've been several people actually. When I was young, I was Tommy Littlefield, and pretty much just kept to myself. Didn't really have too many friends. Didn't really go to any school functions. It was just mostly me. And I don't know. I guess I retreated to that because there was a lot of stuff going on. My mom got sick at a young age. No, my mom got sick when I was still young. She had cancer, and she spent a lot of her time in the hospital. So it was just me, my little sister, my dad. My dad, well, he probably is not going to win the Father of the Year awards, you know? He still did his best to clothe us and feed us, but the way he got over or consoled himself, you could say, was alcohol. He was a drunk, you know? Most of the time it was just me looking after my little sister, trying to make sure that she still had something, clothes, clean clothes to wear to school, food to eat, and lunch to take with her. So my sister had a life that a normal kid might have had. I wasn't so normal. Until my mom got sick, we had a pretty close relationship. She would tell me stories and tell me about the world outside, and she would paint all these vivid images where she would describe for me, like, you know, the things behind the things that made life something special, you know? I remember I was like 6 or 7, and she took me to this magic show, right? And it was a great Mysterio, right? And he was up there in this tuxedo with his assistant, and he did this performance. It was just amazing. It was boggling to the mind. He did the classic stuff. He wasn't innovative. We ain't gonna say that, but he did the classic stuff, right? But he took his assistant, put her in a box, and he sawed her in half, you know, and the crowd was ooh and ah, and I was right there with it, you know. And the old top hat and pulling the rabbit out, he did that. You know, the great Mysterio. Man's a legend. Respectively. He's a legend. Anyhow, this was one of those few positive moments from my childhood with my mom before she got sick and started fading away slowly with cancer, becoming a little bit less of herself with each day. And I just, man, forgive me, y'all. I don't want y'all to think I'm about to start crying or anything because it was a rough situation, but I guess I didn't know what I was going to do, you know? There was things that needed to be done, and my dad, he wasn't a whole lot of help. Within 6 months of being diagnosed, she passed away. And then life ended, I guess you could say. If I had no interest in school before, I ain't even had none now. I went to school because if I didn't go, the truant officer would come and make sure I went. It wasn't like studying was hard for me. I was a pretty smart kid, you know? And I had to be responsible because I had my little sister to deal with. Pops, he just gave in more and more to the bottle, so he wasn't reliable at all. Instead, it mostly became me and my sister. So what did I even do? I was lost. I was confused. Burden, responsibilities no child should have, you know? I didn't get to enjoy childhood like most children do. I didn't get to run in the schoolyards, and part of that was by choice. And part of it was just the joy of being a child, that innocence was gone. One thing I had left was last memories with moms and magic. So, interesting enough, that became my obsession. Tommy Littlefield discovered magic, you know? I started going to magic shows whenever I could scrape enough money to go. I started buying little tricks, little books full of tricks, where I could start doing the turn the cup of water over and pull it out and the water stays in the cup. I did that. I did all those things. Even carried little stink bombs on the bus and would throw them out just to get reactions, to get the crowd view. You know, not that I could relate to any of these people, I couldn't. But I could entertain them. And in doing so, release some of my own inner turmoil. So it had to be so dead. So I didn't have to be so dead inside. I don't know if you relate to that. I don't know what kind of life you live. So this is just my journey that I'm telling you today. I hope you understand it. But yeah, so that's all it was just magic. From learning illusions, the tricks, to popping out rabbits. And as I kept on studying and studying, I got better and more proficient with it. You know, the things I could do was just amazing to me. You know, because for that moment in time, when everyone was watching, when their minds were open, when the laws of reality was just suspended, that one moment, I was at peace. You know? It came to a point where I knew I was going to have to leave my town at some point. Not because I just craved the limelight and attention so much. Not that. I mean, I became a performer to deal with my own pain. There's an expression that goes, how's it go? It goes, laughing cries. It's that Joker mask you see on clowns' faces, you know? They hide the tears behind their smiles. And for me, that's what it was. Hiding the tears. So I knew I was going to have to leave at some point because my dad was starting to become abusive. My sister was starting to have some bruises. And it's just rough, you know, because I didn't have no other parent there to help me navigate that situation. Anyhow, that probably could have went on for a few more years. I mean, she just turned 14. You know, in a few more years, she could have got out of high school. We could have moved out and been on the road together, or doing something, anything. I don't know what could have happened, but something could have happened. And yet instead, her life ended. Struck down by a drunk driver in broad daylight. They say the police investigators, when they came to the house, they said that the man was so drunk that when he hit her with his car, her hair wrapped around the bumper of his vehicle, and he drug her for 6 blocks before he realized she was still attached to the car. That girl, she had so much life, so potential. She was smart. She could do anything. I mean, I had already lost my mom. My dad was never around. And I'm my sister. It's too much. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I had to leave. I took whatever savings I had and I hopped on the road. I left. Like I was going. And just trying to make a name for myself. You know? Already people was calling me Tommy the Great or Tommy the Wonderful, but I felt like better than that. I'm better than all those people who came before me. Chris who? David who? They got nothing on me. So I started calling myself Tommy. Tommy the last. The last real magician. The one for who magic wasn't a gimmick. It wasn't a trick, an entertainment, something you could take out and just wave in front of the crowd and distract them from their problems anymore. No. Real magic. Levitation. telepathy, mind reading. You know what I'm saying? Pick a card, any card. I got you. I know what it is. Flip a coin, any coin. I'll tell you how to land because I'm that good. I know that much about it. You know what I'm saying? I fundamentally understood the laws of magic. And honestly, I felt like that separated me from everything else. Despite all the pain, despite all the horror, despite it all, that is what separated me from everyone else. Was that I had mastered magic. I was magic. Littlefield, deceased, passed away. It was only Tommy now. Tommy the last. You know? And for a while there, it was good. A few years on the road, you know, different cities, different crowds of people, you know, interacting with little kids, people taking my photos, uploading on their social media. Hey, I was with Tommy the last night. It was kind of wonderful, you know? And then the reality started intruding again. My road mantle was shady. It was skimming off the top. Most of the money we made, I never even saw. You know? My motel's room got broken into. Props were stolen. Other magicians, competitors, they would attack me in the night. I don't know, man. Once reality came in, crashing with the force of a Mack truck going 60 miles an hour, it just started shattering some of the own illusions that I kept for myself, I guess. And now magic just doesn't really seem like magic anymore. I stopped even calling myself Tommy the Last. Tommy Littlefield again, you know? I don't know. I started shying away from people, going to well-lit and popular places just so that I could feel safe while I relaxed and try to figure out what I was going to do with the next part of my life. And then, the funniest thing happened. Right outside Fresno. I'm in this little diner and I meet this girl. And this waitress, this lady, this most beautiful, kind, sincere woman who just, she sees me, you know? Not the magician, not the tricks, not the games, none of that. She sees me, a person, and she validates my existence. Would you believe she don't even like magic at all? You know? I took a quarter when I first met her, flipped it in the air, waved my hand, and it disappeared in mid-flight. And you know what she did? She said, "Now you're going to pay for your coffee now." That woman is just, it's magical. That woman is magical. And I'm glad that she had room in her heart, in her life, to take me in. You know? And she got this little boy, you know, this little 5-year-old boy named Andy. And Andy, now that kid loves magic. That kid makes me want to do magic again. Will I ever be Tommy the Last again? Probably not. Am I happy being Tommy Littlefield again? Not today. But I feel like I'm getting there. I feel like soon, at some point, I will be. And I owe it all to her and her child. Because they taught me, of all things, who was teaching other people how to distract themselves and everything. They taught me that real magic is in the bonds you form with people, the experiences, the relationships, the interconnectedness. I, who have been alone for most of my life, never really grasped that. Never really saw the magic of my own life. Irony. It's a wonderful thing. Anyhow, I just want to thank y'all for coming, for even watching. I'm Tommy Littlefield, and I once was the last great magician. Have a good night.